You know the daily routine, the familiar sound of a can opening, the excited weaving between your legs, the immediate dive into the bowl. But today, they walk up, sniff the surface, and just turn away. We often assume they're holding out for treats, acting picky, or getting bored with the flavor. It's easy to project our own fickle relationship with food onto them. However, a cat refusing food communicates an urgent physical or psychological distress signal. It's a message that requires an immediate, systematic translation. There is a strict biological clock ticking the moment that bowl stays full. Unlike humans, a fasting cat enters a zone of critical danger within 24 to 48 hours. When starved, a cat's system attempts to survive by rapidly breaking down body fat, which floods the liver with yellow fat cells. The liver quickly shuts down, triggering a cascading failure called hepatic lipidosis. Without intervention, this is fatal. To stop this clock, we must evaluate 3 distinct areas of a cat's life: their physical environment, their behavioral routine, and their internal health. We start with their space. Because cats are both predator and prey, eating requires them to lower their head and drop their guard. If the environment feels unsafe, the survival instinct to stay alert overrides the biological drive to eat. Consider the physical design of the bowl. Feline whiskers are highly sensitive tactile receptors. When they constantly brush against the sides of a deep or narrow dish, it causes a painful sensory overload known as whisker fatigue. Small environmental changes create high friction. A feeding station placed too close to a litter box or next to the sudden noise of a washing machine creates an immediate aversion to the meal. In multi-pet households, resource guarding is often the culprit. Another pet may be silently staring the cat down from across the room, intimidating them away from the bowl without a single growl or hiss. If the dining area feels like a zone of conflict, a cat will choose safety over nutrition every time. Next, we look at behavior. Cats rely on rigid predictability to feel secure. Even schedule shifts that seem minor to us, like a new work shift or a temporary house guest, can flood a cat's system with enough anxiety to suppress their appetite. Severe emotional disruptions carry a heavier physical toll. The deep grief of losing a companion pet or the absence of a primary owner frequently causes a complete refusal to eat. This psychological stress is a physiological event. It effectively paralyzes the digestive drive before the cat even reaches the bowl. Finally, we must address internal health. When the environment is safe and the routine is stable, an untouched bowl points to hidden physical suffering. This medical illustration reveals why dental disease is so deceptive. Decay buried at the tooth root physically prevents chewing, even when the cat is starving. Internal blockages, such as gastrointestinal inflammation, constipation, or swallowed foreign objects, cause intense nausea, making the very scent of food repulsive. Chronic kidney disease, hyperthyroidism, and undiagnosed cancers also shut down the appetite. These metabolic shifts can end a cat's interest in food overnight. Because cats evolved to mask any signs of weakness, refusing a meal is often the only outward alarm bell they have to signal a medical emergency. When a cat hits the 48-hour fasting mark, it becomes an emergency. This requires an immediate veterinary visit. Request comprehensive blood work and a full physical exam. You need to explicitly rule out organ failure or internal blockages. While awaiting professional care, try lowering the friction at home. Switch to flat plates. Move to a quiet room, and warm to amplify scent. Do not attempt to force feed with a syringe unless instructed by a vet. This carries a high risk of aspiration and can cause permanent food aversion. Evaluating these 3 pillars, space, routine, and health, replaces the anxiety of guessing with the clarity of a plan. Every full food bowl offers an opportunity to decode their silent language and protect them when they are most vulnerable.